Hello, it's Martin Goodyear here again, talking about trust and the difference that trust improvements can make in your small and medium-sized enterprise. If you own or operate or manage an organization that employs people, 20 to 200 people, then this is for you, because this can make a difference to the bottom line. So, what am I talking about when I say increased trust? Well, let me demonstrate. I asked a question of over 600 people who work with teams and run teams over the past 22 months. And I asked them how much they trusted their teams to deliver half a dozen expectations. And I didn't say, do you trust them to deliver it 100%? I said, do you trust them to deliver it, well, at least 95% of the time? And here's what I asked them. I said, do you trust them to make every second count? Do you trust them to collaborate with people that they work with, even if they don't like them very much? Do you trust them to push back on their peers and on the hierarchy when they have a better idea? Do you trust them to go that extra mile, even when they don't necessarily need to? Do you trust them to constantly be at their best every hour of every day? And do you trust them to keep on asking better questions of themselves and of people around them so that they make better decisions? Well, what do you think the results were to this? How many people do you think of those 600 trusted their teams to at least 95% to deliver those things? Well, here's the bad news. The bad news was that was zero. Nobody did. Not one person in that 600 or over 600 thought that they could at least believe 95% of the time that those things would happen. Over 99% of them believed that to some extent, maybe some of the time, some of those things could happen. And 0.5% believed that that they would never ever happen at all, no matter what. So when you think about this for a moment, what does that mean? Well, it means that imagine that you're buying something and you want to get the best price for it, and you don't bother pushing to get that best price. You just accept whatever is there at the moment. Well, it ends up not being the best deal, does it, for you? Or imagine that you're selling something and you set a price for it that you hope you're going to get, and it sells immediately for that price, but you maybe could have got more. Maybe the market allows you to have more. That's called leaving money on the table, isn't it? Well, what you're doing is effectively leaving money on the table, overpaying for what you're getting when you are not able to trust the people that are working with you, at least to a level of 95% of the time, to deliver those very, very basic things. You're only asking them to be the best that they can be while they're at work, not to work any harder, not to try any more than they are at the moment, but just to think more than they do right now. If you ever want to test it, just ask any one of your employees if they behave differently when they're about to go on holiday than when they do every other day. Ask them if they try and get things cleared up, if they try and finish communications they have, conversations with other people, so they don't have it weighing on their own shoulders while they're away. You already know the answer to this, don't you? You know that they do. We all know. We all do it. So there is more potential for people. And here's the deal with it. If we're able to seamlessly improve the levels of trust within an organization, everybody wins. You win because you brutally get more out of the people that work for you. They win because they feel more empowered, more in tune with what's going on, more valued as an individual within the organization. And all the people that you deal with, your suppliers through to your customers, they all benefit too, because they're dealing with smarter people that can be trusted more than they are at the moment. That's not to say that people are untrustworthy. That's not what I'm saying at all. Just that the potential exists to do some more, to increase it. So, what have you got to do to make this happen? Well, all you've got to do is come along to one of my workshops. They're not here in the UK. They're over in the sunny island of Tenerife. There's great reasons for that I'll explain to you if you contact me. But you'll spend 3 days with me, or over 3 days, we'll go through a workshop where you and 2 members of your team, 2 senior members of your team will come along. You'll work with other groups of 3 from other organizations that are a similar size to yours. And during that time, you will not only learn how to improve that trust, but you will practice actually doing it with real people in real situations over those 3 days. So that when you come back into the workplace, you haven't just been on a theoretical course, but you know precisely what to do and how to do it. And it doesn't stop there. No, it doesn't, because 3 weeks or so after doing the workshop, you end up with a follow-on remote practice exercise, supervised, so that yourself and your 2 colleagues get another chance to practice and more input about how to do this. And it doesn't even end there. Another 2 or 3 weeks after that, the same thing happens again. So that this small workshop that takes up just about a weekend and maybe an extra day isn't just where it starts and ends, but is the beginning of a 2 or even 3 months, depending on how it spreads, workshop that teaches you how to deliver more from the people you've got by doing one thing and one thing only, and that's increasing the level that you can trust them to do what, quite frankly, they want to do anyway. So if you're interested in this, then just push the button below. I look forward to speaking to you, and I look forward to meeting you. Take care.